Good morning. It is Friday. November 5th. November 5th, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan and we are here to practice Wudang Tai Chi. My arm is better. Not 100%, but it's better. Much better. 100% tomorrow. Really. And I had promised last week that since we'd not really spent that much time with the last 3 or 4 sets, that I was going to give a class where I'd start with the last set and work backwards. Normally we wouldn't do this. The sets work to advance what you're doing in the practice. So I've used this example many times. The same elements that we have at the beginning, in the beginning sets for push, are used at the beginning for White 8 Presents a Fruit. And I'm going to show this in just a second as I put my coffee down. Okay? So, at the beginning sets, right? Push, lower Tantien, middle Tantien, extend, right? White 8 Presents a Fruit, lower Tantien, middle Tantien, Renjung, extend, and return. There is part of what we're doing both externally and internally, where set 6, yin and yang both appear, push to both sides, gives us foundation for White 8 Presents Fruit, what we're doing with a bit more complicated movement. Okay? So, more fundamental, more complicated, right? Starting with set 18 means that we need to assume a whole lot of things are already working and in place. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to adjust my notes. Looking at my notes, yes, I am. And we're going to do set 1, begin at extreme emptiness. This is very beginning, to create that sense of circulation, focus on our practice, and the connections. Pay close attention to the connections within the body as well as the physical body connections. All right? Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. This is very beginning. Ladies, right hand on the outside, gentlemen, left hand on the outside. Both hands pull up to the middle Tantien. Breathe in. And breathe out. Smile. Breathe, relax, pay attention to all of the things that you would normally have paid attention to. Keep going. In all of the sets that would lead up to what we're going to do next. Open the back, open the shoulders, open the knees, open the hips, open the feet. And press down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Alright, as we begin paying homage to the peaks, salute, sink. As I turn, bend down, both hands press down, pull up, step out, come back to center. Okay, rest for a second, then we go the other side. Rest for a second. Alright, so a couple of things. One is that we're not going to pay attention to, I'm not going to pay attention to using as much physical effort through my legs as I might if I were warmed up. Alright? I'm going to sip coffee and it's talking day here. We're doing some analysis. So as we look at what we need to do for this movement, right? The first movement goes to thighs parallel to the ground, okay? 90. Down. Go down. Sink, right? As we turn, both hands press down. That goes all the way to the ground. And there is a bit of a bend. In order to do that, the supporting leg, the sustaining leg, which is the one that you're going toward, has to be the body has to be well placed over the sustaining leg. There has to be enough strength in the leg to support the body, and there has to be enough flexibility in the hip to go all the way down. All right? Without warming up, this is not something I'm going to try. And the warm-up is the sets that come before. So, what do? We're going to pay attention to moving quietly. We're not going to pay as much attention, we're going to do this, not going to pay as much attention to the physical movement as we are to the shape of the movement. By that I mean as we move, right? What's the shape here? This is round and coming to a closing circle. As I sink and extend, as my arms pull back, what's this? Pay attention to how the movement works within itself. Each movement works within itself to initiate the next movement. Pay attention. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Relax through the back. Open the hip. Drop the hip, open the lower back. And breathe in, palms up. Breathe out, press down. Breathe in, circle. Left hand holds a palm, right hand holds a fist. Salute, sink. Pay attention to the shape of the movement. Where are the changes that begin the next movement. How does completing one move create the opportunity for the next? Smile. It really does help. It's very difficult to be tense when you're smiling. And we want as little tension, in the body as possible. Salute, shift, rest down, pay attention to the right heel. The right heel is up. Put the heel down, set. Come up and extend. Pull in. Set the left heel. Pull up and extend. Pull in. Relax through the hips. Open the waist. So there's a good connection between the upper body and the lower body. Keep the waist open. Place the heel, come up and down. Come back to center. Two more. If you're changing leg, right? The heel has to come down before you start up. Okay? That left heel is up. It has to come down before you can come up over that leg. Last time. Let the heel down. Hold the weight up. And extend. Pull in. Let the heel down. Pull the weight up. Extend. Pull in. Center. And circle one more time. Salute. Sink. Pull in along both sides. Press down. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. As we move, right, I talked about a little bit about some of the physical things we paid attention to, and we're going to do this again. Leopard climbs a tree. We paid attention a little bit more to how the body moves, what we should look for, right? Putting the heel down and setting the weight before you try to bring up the other leg is kind of imperative. You could try. I used to be able to do that on my toes, not on point, but on my toes. So yeah, I could go all the way down. This toe is still up, and I could come up on that toe. I almost did it just now. All right, used to be able to do that. We're not doing that in here. That's not what we're doing. The heel goes down and sets. The heel is the jiaogen, the root of the foot. In Qigong and in Tai Chi, we have this idea that we connect through the base of the foot is our root. Not the toes. The base of the foot, the heel. Okay? If you look at the anatomy of the heel, it's not one thing. There's a whole lot of stuff through there. That extension through the leg, down through the heel, into and through whatever we're on. This is what we call the root, our root. The literal Chinese jiaogen means heel. Foot, the end of the heel of the foot. Jiao Gen is the heel. Alright, so we're paying attention to that connection as we set the foot. We're going to pay attention to it again as we work on Leopard Climbs a Tree. Right? We have at the beginning, we have this idea of bringing the energy up, and in this case, it's actually advantageous to keep it up, not drop it, even though we sink into the next move. So here. As we come up, the same idea. Keep the heel. This is the root. Sink through the body, keep the heel as you come up. Right? That's what's going to help bring this up. As you extend, this has to be there. Right? Me talking and doing this at the same time, I need to work on. All right? Trust me, I get better when I shut up. All right, so as I'm coming up, this foot has to be solid because I'm going to be on it and I'm going down. The set takes us through this extension. Go this way. So I'm here, set, come up, still on this leg, and down. All right? This back leg, and two things I'm going to talk about. First thing is my extending leg. As I reached out, I went out too far. My supporting leg needs to be able to take me all the way to the ground. If my extending leg is out too far, I can't get there. Okay? So pay attention to this idea. What's the shape of the form? Pay attention to the root in the standing leg. Make sure you keep your hip and your waist open. As you come up, this stays open, right here, stays open. And don't put this out too far, okay? Extend, and as you put it down, consider what your leg length actually is. You don't want to think about stepping. You think about, I'm going to sink into this, and this is about where my leg is. It's not over there. It's not. My leg is not that long. All right, pay attention. Leopard climbs a tree. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in, palms up. And breathe out, palms down. And breathe in, palms up. Shift, up, and change. Pull in, and center. Shift to the other side. Press down. Pull up, and down. Pay attention where your leg's supposed to go. And breathe in. If you can raise your leg, all right? Pay attention as you bring your leg up. Pay attention to where you put it. From that position, pick it up and bring it back. If you can do that, you've put your leg in a good position for you. It also means shift, press down. Then your supporting leg must hold, because it's doing the work. And breathe in. And press down. Come up. Yeah, that was a little iffy. Yeah, pretty good on that side. That length and position really make a difference. Two more. Last time. Keep the back straight. Open the hip, open the waist. Support the body over the leg. Don't extend too far. And breathe in again. Hands down on both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. A little bit more effort. This is not a bad thing. Alright. As we work backwards, and sit. Get a little coffee and look at my notes. All right, as we work backwards, the idea that things get easier as we go is true. Okay? Seems like it's getting easier. That's true. I've talked about this repeatedly. I'm going to mention it again. The exercises work from simpler physically to more complicated physically, more difficult physically. The level of effort, how much physical effort you're going to put towards your practice, depends on you. There are certain things that are correct, there are certain things that are not correct. If you're doing things correctly, you'll gain benefit. If you're not, maybe do some exercise. Correct practice is not this idea of I have to get all the way to the floor, or I have to do this movement to this because it told me it lost data. Data, come back. Come on back. Hey, it says we're back now. All right. As I was saying, as we move through the sets, as we focus on today's practice, focus on the root. I talked about this at the very beginning. We're going to continue to pay attention to that. Focus on the shape of the movement. What am I doing? How does this movement work? What's the dynamic of the movement? If I had to draw a picture of this movement in even two-dimensional space, what would it look like? Circles and squiggly lines, and I did that as I was learning. That is one of the methods that I used to understand both the physical movement and how the energy that's generated through that physical movement can be cultivated, can be used. That's connected with and a part of the internal workmanship. So it's not a separate thing. We can look at the internal work, the focus on the lower Tantian, the middle Tantian, how the centers are connected, how the energy connects through the body. We can focus on that, and I did. Previous classes. The shape of the form and how we can move through the form is also this physical part, internal part. The smoother and the more relaxed, the less tension there is in the physical body through the movement and throughout the whole thing. So you're not doing this, you're not doing that, okay? The easier it is to circulate the energy within, that qi, then jing and shen and all the rest of it. All right, so smile. Smile. White snake sticks out its tongue. And I'm going a little bit lower with the left hand than I might normally. It didn't go. Now, about there's all I get on the left side. Right side's fine. The booster shot, I'm very glad I got it. Go get yours. This mini commercial. All right, as we turn through, white snake sticks out its tongue. Pay attention to the waist. You're going to see some of that, maybe a little bit more because it's chilly where I am right now and I'm wearing the sweater, and as I turn, it's going to move with me. Not a bad thing. Pay attention to that as the end, not the beginning. The waist is the beginning. Whatever comes from above and below belongs to the waist. White snake sticks out its tongue. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Palms up on the left. And snake hand. 1, 2, 3. Come around. 1, 2, and 3. Up on the right. Snake tongue. 2 fingers. 1, 2, 3. Snake head, come around. 1, 2, and center. 3. On the left, pay attention to the shape of the movement. And how the waist drives the turning of the arms. It's not the arms moving. The arms just following along. That's the idea. Focus on the waist. Turn. Connect the breath. Connect the upper and lower body. Open the waist. Use it. Two more. Last time. Breathe in. Hands down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. And breathe out. Relax. Alright, we're going to do one more, and then I'm going to end for today. The next one we're going to do is the next one, working backwards, dragon and tiger joined together. We have a combination here of what I've been talking about this morning, which is this idea of paying attention to the root on the supporting leg so that you can sustain your weight over your supporting leg. We also have, again, working backwards, the same idea that I was talking about with the extension of the leg in Leopard Climbs a Tree. That we need to know the length of our own leg and not be thinking about trying to take a step. It's length of the leg and be able to bring it back, not length of the leg plus how much you can extend through your pushing leg or your back leg. Okay? We use that kind of stepping, right? We use the combination of the back leg push and the front leg step for several kinds of things. Not here. That's not what we need to do here. Shingy class, we can do that. I talk about that next time I teach Shingy, but we're not doing that here. All right. Dragon and tiger join together. As we bring up the leg, we come up through the lower Tantian and the middle Tantian, the same, this connection is the same as for push. It's the same as for White 8 presents of fruit. As we bring this up, we must pay attention to the heel on the supporting foot, that it is well placed, so that you're reasonably stable over that supporting leg as you work through the movements on one leg. One of the little things that we can do to enhance that stability, turn the toes out just a little. Just a tiny bit, not a lot. We're not going for modified first position here. Okay? No. Tiny bit. So that it's barely noticeable, but when you take your weight over your foot, it's easier for you to open the toe and set the heel. Okay? When your foot is straight forward, you don't have the same ability to create that base as you do if your foot is just slightly, just a little bit turned out. Pay attention to holding through the upper body. so that as you bring the leg up, your focus is the knee and under the leg, right? You should feel it more through, you should feel pull. This pulls in, this pushes up. Keep your toes pointed, foot stays pointed down. Keep energy in that foot as you bring it in. Don't let it flop. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in. And breathe out. Open the toes on the left just a little bit and shift. Bring up the right. Extend. Breathe in. Pull in. And down. Turn the toes and on the right. The more you can bring your weight up over the leg, the easier it is to allow the leg to move. Extend through the back. Open the hip. Keep shoulders down. Center. Pay attention to the shape of the movement, how we get from one place to the next. 2 more. And last time. Extend the heel. Pull in the toes, place the foot, shift. And again, last time, place it, center, breathe in. Hands down on both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in one more time. And breathe out. Okay, for today, we covered this idea of connecting the heel, the root, the shape of the form, if you will. How do we get from one posture to the next? Or one movement to the next within form? What do we need to pay attention to as we're moving? So I didn't put my foot down. I didn't. I can back up and do it again, but I'm not going to. All right. What do we need to pay attention to as we're moving so that the shape of the form, how we get through this movement. Where's the circle? Where's the line? Where's the extension? How does the body connect through that movement And how does the internal work connect with the physical work through that movement? Relaxing as much as possible. Physical, I'm going to use as little physical effort as I possibly can in this movement. Gives us the opportunity to pay attention to fine movement and to the circulation of energy within. We don't do it all the time. If you do that all the time, you never develop the physical part, right? You want to develop the physical part. All right? We work on that. We're going to work on that too, just not today. All right? We did a little bit of that with the idea of paying attention to being able to bring the leg up and then pull it in with Leopard climbs a tree. So that extension, making sure that you know where your leg is, how far it can extend, and where you have to be. Where's the angle of my body, so that as you bring that leg back, you can do that smoothly. I hope it was helpful. This analysis piece is something that I've been intending to do a little bit more of, and here it is. So I hope it's informative. I hope it's helpful, and that it offers a little bit different way of looking at how to practice. We've got so many different ways that we can use to develop our skills. All of them work together, but there are times when we want to choose this one or that one. We need to have choice. I like that choice. So part of my explanation today, hopefully, opens up that idea that there are different methods for practice, different ways to practice, different things to pay attention to during practice. And that as we practice, each time we practice, we can choose which ones. It doesn't have to be, I need to do everything all today at once. That's really hard for humans to do. It is. I'll be back next week. Shoulder will be all better. Yang Style Tai Chi on Monday, Wudang Style Tai Chi on Tuesday. Wednesday, Tai Chi Sword, Wudang Style. Thursday and Friday, Qigong. I hope you join me. Thank you.